All right, let's talk about one of the most stressful parts of landing a job, the behavioral interview. This is where it's not really about what you know, but how well you can prove your value when you're under the microscope. And we're going to break down a playbook inspired by someone who really knows this stuff.
You know that feeling, right? The interviewer leans in and says, "So tell me about a time when," and your brain just shuts down. It's this universal fear, but there's absolutely a way to beat it. We're going to dig into a strategy inspired by Bill Gates, a guy who not only built an empire, but has probably been on both sides of that interview table more times than we can count.
And that's really the heart of it all. It's about turning all those things you've done in the past into a really compelling story about what you can do for them in the future. I mean, they're trying to figure out if you're going to be a great hire, so you can't just rattle off a list of skills. You need a solid strategy to prove you're the one.
So to build that strategy, we're going to look at the mindset of Bill Gates himself. See, his whole approach isn't about memorizing perfect answers. It's about a fundamental shift in how you think about the interview. It's no longer a test you're trying to pass. It's an opportunity to show them what you've got. And trust me, that one little mental flip changes everything.
This quote right here, this is the foundation for everything. An interview is not your stage to just brag about how great you are. It's your chance to lay out clear, powerful evidence that you are the solution to a problem they have. It's a subtle difference, but it is so powerful.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. Look at the difference. Anybody can say, "I'm a great team player." But what does that even mean? It's so much more powerful to say, "I led a team that cut project errors by 30%. Same thing with, "I'm a hard worker." Okay, fine. Or you could say, "I taught myself a new software over a weekend to meet a huge deadline." One is just a vague claim. The other, that's proof.
Okay, so we have the mindset down. Prove it, don't just say it. Now let's get practical and see how this actually helps you answer those really big, scary questions. This is where we take the theory and make it real, so you can walk into that room feeling ready for anything.
Ah, yes, the classic. Why should we hire you? This one can feel like the final boss in a video game, you know? It's so direct, so intimidating, and you know deep down that some generic answer like, "I'm passionate and I'm a hard worker," is just not going to fly. So what are they really asking here?
See, they're not asking you to just list your greatest hits. They are handing you a golden opportunity to connect the dots for them. They want to see that you've done your homework, that you get what their challenges are, and that you can position yourself as the exact person who can come in and solve them.
Bill Gates' approach to this was just brilliant. He didn't just say he was a good coder, he basically said, "Here, look at my code." He offered proof. He also showed his passion and, get this, a little self-awareness by admitting he could be a tough critic. So for you, the takeaway is that little formula on the right. Take a specific achievement, tie it to a strength they need, and deliver it with real, genuine excitement for the job.
And now for the one everybody dreads. So, what are your weaknesses? This just feels like a trap, doesn't it? Like they're just waiting for you to say the wrong thing and blow the whole interview. But honestly, it's a huge opportunity if you know how to play it right.
Here's the secret. This question isn't actually designed to catch you in a lie. It's a test to see if you're self-aware. Can you look at yourself honestly, identify something to work on, and, this is the important part, are you actually doing something about it? It's all about your potential to learn and grow.
Gates played this perfectly. He admitted a real weakness, that he knew very little about marketing. But, and this is key, it wasn't a critical skill for a software developer role. Then he immediately pivoted back to his strengths in product design, basically framing his weakness as a reason why teamwork is so important. The lesson for you? Pick a real, but not essential weakness, quickly say how you're working on it, and then spend most of your time pivoting to a relevant strength, using a quick story to prove it.
Okay, now to make sure all of your stories are sharp, structured, and powerful, there is one simple framework you need to have in your back pocket. Think of it as your secret weapon for telling a great story under pressure. It's called the STAR method.
STAR is an acronym. It stands for Situation, Task, Action, and Result. It's a beautifully simple way to structure any example you give. You start by setting the scene, the situation. Then, what was your specific goal? That's the task. Next, what exactly did you do? The action. And finally, and this is the most important part, what was the positive outcome? That's the result. And here's a perfect example of it in action. So a deadline was missed because of a miscommunication. That's the situation. The person's job was to fix it. That's the task. They met with everyone and made a new plan. That's the action. And the result, they got the project delivered and they put a new system in place to make sure it never happened again. See? It's a full story. and it proves you're a problem solver way better than just saying, yeah, I'm a good problem solver.
Okay, we've covered the mindset and the method. So before we wrap this up, let's do a quick lightning round, a final checklist of things you absolutely have to do before you walk into that interview.
This is your final game plan. Seriously, do your homework on the company. Have 5 or 6 of your best star stories ready to go. Put numbers on everything you can. Be yourself. People connect with real people. Keep your answers tight, stay positive, and always have a few smart questions ready to ask them. This prep work is what makes all the difference.
And let's end with this piece of wisdom from Gates. Look, they're not hiring a robot. They are hiring a human being. Your goal isn't to give a flawless, perfect performance. It's to build a real connection and show them what it would actually be like to work with you.
So please, stop thinking of your next interview as an interrogation. Think of it as a stage. You've got the mindset, you've got the tools, and you have amazing stories to tell. The only question left is, how are you going to use them to prove just how valuable you are?